People are being forced into debt over closing their businesses over the ULEZ. We keep hearing about it, and the only reason my colleagues continue to bring this up is because our emails are full of issues around the ULEZ. I'm glad you're going to be looking into Mr. Flynn's situation for Assembly Member Boff, but every one of us could give you at least another dozen. I know of a gentleman who owns a hotel in Enfield. He has got 20 members of staff who actually do not have compliant cars. They're on minimum wages. He can't afford to pay them anymore. They can't afford to buy new cars. They are going to have to give up working for him. His family business will go under. We hear, don't we, colleagues? We hear this all the time, and you are just not listening. Are you listening now?
Chair, if the question was, am I listening now, the answer is yes.
Right. So why don't you do something about it? Why don't you help those hard-working Londoners who are absolutely desperate? They don't know what to do. Some of them know that they can't afford to go to work. They then don't know how they're going to pay their families. And you are just not listening.
So in relation to those affected by the expansion of the ULEZ, is because we've been listening that I announced the widening of eligibility in June. So as a consequence of me listening to those Londoners who have concerns, and by the way, this wasn't an easy decision. The easy thing to do was to do what the government does, which is to kick the can down the road. But we widened the eligibility, so now every single family in London that receives a child benefit, more than 850,000 families are now eligible for support under the scrappage scheme. And in Outer London, that's more than 550,000 families. In relation to the businesses, the member mentioned a hotel business. Previously, only those businesses that employed less than 10 people would be eligible. Now those businesses that employ less than 50 people are eligible. That's more than 35,000 businesses, but also charities can now scrap or retrofit not one vehicle but three, because we are listening. But also, who's speaking for those who are suffering the consequences of air pollution, the premature deaths, those with stunted lungs, those adults with a whole host of health issues from asthma, dementia, cancer, heart disease, the doctors, the experts, and, you know, I'm listening to those too.
Mayor Khan, you are actually not listening to people's plights. You do not seem to understand how desperate some of these people are. When I was out campaigning in Uxbridge, it's the only thing that they were talking about on the doorstep, because some people are utterly desperate.